Good morning, all of you. My name is Chand Pravinandu. I am from Jalna. I recently passed out my Bachelor of Pharmacy in Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University, Luneri, Raigad. Today's topic is non-technical, and today's topic name is climate change. So we are start. First of all, we see what is the climate change. The climate change is a significant and long-term changes in global and regional weather. The patterns of the Earth and the climate is naturally fluctuated over million years of the current phase. The climate change is mainly driven by the human activity in the modern context. It is typically refers increasing the global average temperature primarily caused by the buildup greenhouse gases and atmosphere, etc. Then the warming of the earth is climate system, often referred to as global warming. Through the climate change encompasses and a broader range of the environmental impacts. The causes of climate change. The climate change is driven by the both natural process and more significantly human activities. The main causes can be broken down into the natural causes, the holonic eruption. The when the volcanics erupt, the release of the aerosols and gas like carbon dioxide, the sulfur dioxide, while volcanic CO2 contribute to warming the air source and can have the short-term cooling effect by the reflecting sunlight. Then solar variability. The changes in the solar radiation influences Earth climate change, while the sun's output of the does fluctuate. Studies showing that it is contribution recent warming and minimal compared in human activities. Then orbital changes. The Earth is a orbit and axial vary through the thousands of years. The leading of the natural fluctuation in climate such as ice ages. These long-term changes happen on geographical time cycles. Human included causes. The primary driver is recent climate change in human activities, particularly since industrial revolution. First of all, burning fossil fuel. The combustion of fossil fuel is such as coal and oil and natural. The gas of the energy production, transportation, and the industry release large amount of CO2 gas, greenhouses gases. These gases are trap heat the atmosphere, contributing to the greenhouse effect. Then deforestation. The cutting down of the forest reduce the earth ability to absorb CO2, leading the higher concentration of the greenhouses gas atmosphere. The trees act as a carbon sinks and absorbing CO2 during the photosynthesis. Then agriculture and livestock. The agriculture is practices including rice cultivation and livestock farming. Then release the methane gas. Then the protein greenhouse gases. Fertilize also release the nitrous oxide. Another significant is GHG, the industrial process. The certain industrial activities such as cement production, chemical manufacturing, and refrigerant use release other greenhouse gases like the nitrous oxide and hydrofluorocarbon, etc. The greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect is a natural process that warm the whole earth surface where the how it work. The solar radiation. The it form the sun of reaches on earth some of the energy absorbed by the earth surface while the rest in the implicated black into the space. The earth is term emits the energy in the form of infrared radiation. Then greenhouse gases such as CO2, methane, and water vapor absorb the re-radiate. Some of this break toward the Earth's surface, trapping heat with its atmosphere. This process is maintain temperature that supports the life of Earth. However, when the concentration of greenhouse gases increasing, more heat is trapped, leading to overall warming of the effect. This is essence global warming, which is key aspect of the climate change. Then effect of climate change. The impact of climate change is the far reaching and affected multiple aspects of the earth, the ecosystem, and human societies. The major consequence is included First of all is global warming temperature rise, then next one is sea level rise, then next one is changing of the weather pattern, then ocean addiction, etc. So first of all we see the global warming and temperature rising. The rising global temperature, the average global temperature have caused by the approximately 1.2 degrees Celsius to 2 means 2.2 Fahrenheit since the late 19th century. While the last of few decades, seeing the fastest rates of the warming, this is increasing the temperature is responsible for range of the cascading impact and including the more frequent and several heat waves. Then sea level rise, the melting of ice caps and glacier, the rising of the global temperature have to the lead up to melting the polar ice superficie and glaciers contributing in the sea level rise. The Greenland and the Antarctica ice sheets are the losing mass and glacier around the world are the retarding the thermal expansion ocean. As ocean temperature rise, water expand. This internal expansion combined with the melting ice and contribute significantly to the rise of sea level. Then coastal floating. The coastal floating is the major issue. The rising of the sea level is increasing the risk of coastal floating, displacing communities and eroding of the shorelines and the threatening of the infrastructure. Then changing weather pattern. The extreme weather event is climate change lead to more frequent and intense weather. The event including hurricanes, soma floods, and droughts of warmer year holds and more moisture, increasing the intensity of rainfall. And some areas are excavating drought condition in other. Then shift of the precipitation pattern. Some region may experience more rainfall while other may faces prolonged dry spells. This can affect agriculture, water supply, and ecosystem. Then ocean acidification. The ocean absorbs about the quarter of the CO2 emitted in human activities. This is caused by decrease of pH, making the ocean more acidic. Ocean modification affect the marine life, particularly organism with calcium carbonate shells. Example, coral shellfish, distributing of the marine ecosystem and food chain. Then biodiversity loss. The rising temperature is changing weather the patterns, threatens the many species habitats. Example, coral reefs highly sensitive temperature changes and the bleaching of the expel algae that allule symbiosis with them. Then alter the precipitation and temperature patterns dispute the ecosystem in forcing species to the migrate phase extension. Many species are unable to the adult quickly enough to the changing of condition. Then impact of human health. Heat waves increase that wave. The causes the strokes, the dehydration, and other heat-related illness, particularly in the vulnerable and populations such as the elderly and children. Then vector-borne disease. The changing of the climate patterns affect the distribution insects like mosquito, which is spread into disease malaria, dengue, Zika virus, and new region, etc. Then food water security. The shifts of the participation of the temperature pattern disputes food production, temperature, agriculture systems, drought food flood of the affect crop yield, leading the food shortage, and watery scarcity also become the pressing issue in the many parts of the world. Then economic consequence, the infrastructure damaging, the extreme of the weather events such as floods, storms, and heat waves damage the infrastructure, including road, bridges, and buildings. This result is costly repair of the disruption of economic activities. Then agriculture fissures. The climate change is expected reduce crop yield in many regions, particularly tropical and arid zones. The ocean acidification and warming also harm fishes, affecting global food supplies, livelihoods, those dependent on the industry. Then mitigating climate change. The slow down the slow down rivers affect climate change, government, business, and the individual must take an action. Small key strategic include. Thank you for watching my video.